Hello everybody, this is Sensei Starman, and welcome back to Let's Play Superhero League of Hoboken. The last time you'll recall, we journeyed to Atlantic City. We managed to clean it out of evil influences. Well, to a point, it is still Atlantic City. But we did get rid of all the wandering villains and fully explore the map, and I discovered something kind of neat, but kind of useless at this point. You can point and click around the map to quickly travel to different areas once you get it explored. So I can go here right next to our current goal. The remnants of the Trump Casino. A virtual monument to tackiness. Trump Casino. It's hard to tell how much of the present unsightliness is due to the ravages of time, and how much is due to the original judgment of this building's designers. If the exit lies to the west, you see a slot machine here. The slot machine is the big gaudy sort that is meant to stand near the casino entrance in order to lure the cranially challenged into the casino. Its slot is sized to accommodate casino chips rather than coins. Fortunately, it seems to be a lot less hostile than the one-armed bandits you've been running across. And something else I discovered. Last time I commented that I thought that I had more than the one casino chip in my inventory. I do. It just so happens that in this instance, the item that we're gathering to access Doctor Entropy's lair is stacking itself together. So you'll note, look at the casino chip, count the casino chip, you have 4. So, put the casino chip in the slot. Lime, gold bar, pretzel. Oh well. Come on, Daddy needs a new positron slider. Gold bar, lime, cherry. Oh well. Gold bar, orange. Oh well. Okay, I got a good feeling about this. We got warmed up now. Gold bar, gold bar, gold bar. The machine regurgitates a torrent of casinos. In mid-torrent, perhaps, the victim of metal fatigue, it explodes. When the smoke clears and everyone is finished picking shrapnel out of their costumes, you see no sign of the slot machine or the casino chips, but the explosion has blown away a huge section of wall, revealing a staircase leading upward. Trump Penthouse. This Sabartakali, I think that's right. This plush suite is more opulent than the homes of many, even the most shameless warlords. The only exit from here is downward. A tree lush with extraordinary volume of thick green foliage, or foliage if you're not Marge Simpson, rises in the two-story atrium of the penthouse. Dr. Entropy is standing at the base of the tree, injecting the trunk of a series of bark-piercing hypodermic needles.
Begone, you persistent pain in the necks! Your bumbling luck won't help you this time!
Hey, it's worked so far.
My tree is already perfected, and shortly my injections will induce my creation to send forth 100,000 airborne seed pods. Within days, it will be growing everywhere, spreading disorder throughout the countryside. Oops, almost forgot to laugh maniacally at the end of my speech. There, now back to work.
He begins to resume the injections, but then turns back to you. Alright, well, let's talk to him one more time.
Yes, what is it? Even not necessary.
Yeah, what's your scheme, Entropy?
With its extensive root system of rake-detecting sensors, this tree will be able to time its leaf dropping in order to maximize aggravation and disorder. Tell me, am I the most wonderfully evil arch-criminal ever, or what?
I'd say, or what? Why don't you just come along quietly?
Because sales of the game would plummet, you twit.
Yeah, a bit of irony there. I was doing some reading up on this game between chapters, and Superhero League of Hoboken was actually the least well-selling game. It was the lowest-selling game, rather, that Legend Entertainment ever made. In fact, it barely broke 10,000 copies. Which is a bit odd, because clearly I'm enjoying myself playing this, and I think most of you are enjoying watching it. It was the last game that Steve Merzetsky, the legendary game designer, made with the company before he left to go establish his own company. But it was a bit too revolutionary in my mind, and this is the general consensus from what I've seen from other game players. It was trying to do something different with the RPG genre and the adventure game genre, and it didn't really appeal much to fans either, because, you know, this was in the 90s, Marvel Comics was starting to have an economic downturn around this point, the comic industry was starting to go into a crash, and it was pretty much synonymous with superheroes at that point, so superheroes weren't exactly a big draw to gamers like they are now, well, relatively speaking. The RPG fans really weren't interested in it. The adventure gamers didn't like the RPG elements. It's the classic case, if you try and make something that'll have broad appeal, and it winds up not appealing to anybody, because the game industry at that time was just starting to become much more regimented with, you know, here's the sports sim, here's the adventure game, here's the RPG. There wasn't really any room for a hybrid in the market at the time, and this game unfortunately suffered for it.
Hey, it's bad enough you keep foiling my plots. Now you expect me to help you? I'm not going to tell you how to get to Carnegie Hall. I'm not even going to tell you that the wisest man in the world can tell you. In fact, I'm not even going to mention that you can find the wisest man in the world in New Haven. So there.
What's really funny is that he tells you this even though there's no way for you to get to him at this point unless you've already figured that puzzle out. Alright, so how are we supposed to take out this tree? Well, you might recall that we did get this set of termite eggs. And we also have somewhere in my inventory a termite hatchery. Okay, so we do have to do this by the book. Open the termite hatcher. The individual eggs are too small to see. Their entire mass is a similar appearance to a clump of moist lint. Okay, so put them in the termite hatcher. Close the termite hatcher. Turn on the termite hatcher. The unit hums for a moment. A bell dings, and then the hatchery turns itself off. The unit opens, and a swarm of termites burst forth. The swarm envelopes the tree and Entropy. You hear it sound like a chainsaw in helium as a million sated termites fly away lazily, looking for a place to take an after-dinner nap. The hatchery glows and melts into a pile of useless metal. As the termites disperse, Entropy makes a mad dash for the exit, but Tropical Old Man nabs him by the collar, and the party hands him off to the most elite and decorated officers of the enforcement wing of the League. You won't slip away from these, fellows, Entropy, you call. Have a good rest behind bars. All the party members gain 2,500 XP. The realism of these art flowers is simply amazing. The flowers have no scent other than the faint odor of dust and cobwebs. This chandelier is made of thousands of pieces of perfectly cut crystal, dangling arms of gold and silver. Very impressive, provided you're impressed by seeing the annual budget of a dozen home shelters spent on a single lighting fixture. This joke was so much funnier back before he became president. The columns are made of polished marble, impressive in a tacky sort of way. The furniture, if not the finest that money can buy, at least appears to be the most expensive that money can buy. You haven't been invited. Move the furniture with the columns. Furniture moving isn't one of your superpowers. Okay, there's nothing else to do here. Truly the ugliest carpet that money can buy. And I guess it won't let me pick up any more chairs. This casino once offered every form of gambling activity: slots, roulette, blackjack, craps, baccarat, keno, racehorse racing, software development. The chandelier, though badly deteriorated, still trembles with ostentatiousness. And with that done, we are ready to return home.
Congratulations on the successful completion of mission Fudge Brownies. This communication just in from the Commissioner. The SLH is hereby promoted to a Level 6 League. All members are awarded 9,000 experience points. A grant of 1,500 kilo-dollars accompanies this promotion. Maximum party size is now 9.
All right.
Captain Excitement advances to Superhero 5th Class. His abilities increase in every area.
A few hours later.
And so, he says, "Oh, it's my other buffalo who can play the piano."
A new set of missions is available. Please go to the briefing room.
All right, briefing room. And we now have the ability to rest 8 times before heading back to base. Alright, let's check out the chatterbox. 10-headed dog bites everyone in Toledo. A pit bull with 10 heads has been rampaging through Toledo, mowing down every Weehawken in sight. There are a few other coherent details coming out of Toledo. The Staten Island Pawnbroker's tent announces the arrival of a new shipment of tube car passes and exotic foods. Get them before they're gone. Be sure to visit the other Staten Island merchants as well, paid for by the Staten Island Merchants Association. Lost and Found, see the Middleton Innkeeper. Don't miss it, the opening of Geraldo Rivera's personal vaults, Atlantic City, corner of Delaware and Baltic. Oh, I can't believe I have to say this, but one more reason to head to Atlantic City, apparently. Okay, so here are our missions for this time around.
A religious cult is occupying a site near the Harrisburg-Middleton area of what was once Pennsylvania, where a nuclear meltdown nearly occurred in the latter years of the 20th century. Their belief is that mankind thwarted God's will by preventing the meltdown. Their mad scheme is to revive the plant and induce an accident, this time actually allowing the meltdown to occur. Dozens of villages would be buried beneath the resulting radioactive debris.
Alright, that would be bad. Yeah, just making a quick note. Staten Island. Middleton. And Atlantic City Vault. Alright, reports of alligators in the New York City sewers. Hey, we cleaned that out already.
Numerous rumors indicate that there are alligators living in the New York City sewers. Although the reports are, in all likelihood, erroneous, you must explore the sewer system to verify. In the unlikely event that alligators are in residence, they should be completely exterminated.
Well, heck, we've probably done this one already, so, let's see, a hostelry on Staten Island reports a serious map problem.
An emissary from the hostelry in the Staten Island city-state requests help with a map storage problem which is seriously impairing their ability to provide services for travelers. Anything which interferes with travel services would negatively impact intervillage travel, and thus trade, and thus the beneficial effects of an increasingly dynamic society.
Huh. Well, isn't that convenient? Let's see, a miracle at the Scranton Temple has gotten out of hand.
When priests at the Scranton Temple announced the appearance of the likeness of St. Elvis in a coffee stain on a column in their anteroom, Scranton residents were delighted that their village had become the focus of so much attention. Now, however, the onslaught of pilgrims and sightseers has been so overwhelming that the city-state has been overrun, and there are signals that dissident elements in the village are even discussing setting fire to the temple. The situation must be somehow diffused.
And finally,
the despicable but dauntless Doctor Entropy slipped out of the highest security cell in our highest security prison on an airless asteroid beyond the orbit of Jupiter, and he is constructing a machine in a lab at the crown of the Statue of Liberty. His plan is unspeakably evil, even for this enemy of decency. He plans to release a huge cloud of gas, which will cause everyone within 300 miles to forget which drawer they've stored their Scotch tape in. The psychological effect on the population would be devastating.
the Fiend. Fortunately, I don't keep my Scotch tape in a drawer. I keep mine stacked on top of my comic book collection so that I can tape the plastic bags together. But that's a bit too much information and not relevant to this important mission. Alright, well, mission accomplished. You see a layer cake in the storage cabinet here.
Need any more superheroes in your league? I mean, hello, they call me the Mighty Magnitude, and I'd like to join up. Sorry about the mess, I just can't resist a dramatic entrance.
Superhero suddenly bursts out of the cake. You call this a mess? Scoffs Robomop, cleaning up with a wink. I'll drop off these supplies and then wait in the lunchroom for an assignment, says the League's newest member, heading off in that direction. Well, the new assignment is a vegetable burger. Health's increased by 2. Alright, well, let's see. Mighty Magnitude. His primary superpower is the superpower of 10, and he causes root rot at 33%. The Mighty Magnitude was once a scholarly mathematician until a stray bolt of lightning fused him and his personal computer into a single cybernetic union. Shortly thereafter, he discovered that he had developed a strange new ability, the superpower of 10, which allows him to increase and decrease the sizes of certain objects, especially those objects of known size or quantity. His superhero costume is completely white, broken only by his logo, a black 10 with a superscript X, and the pen-filled pocket protector. Well, this strikes me as something not entirely useless to take with us. I didn't get a chance to talk to him, though.
Ready and waiting for input.
Pardon me for asking, but isn't your head a TV screen?
No, not at all. What a silly, crazy idea. A TV screen for a head? Ridiculous, unthinkable. My head is, in fact, a computer monitor.
Love the Dudley Do-Right voice. I'd like to harness your amazing superpower of 10 for a moment. I guess if you got up on Mount Sinai, we'd have the 100 Commandments, huh?
I am not programmed to understand religious allusions.
Magnitude explains this power is limited to those objects that can be measured in exact multiples of 10. The explanation is very technical, and while the charts and overhead projections help, you are unable to follow most of the math and decide to just take him at his word. I got turned around forgetting which way is the air, because we're heading to 2B. Right here is Staten Island, and something was sweat about there being a new silver tube pass and food. Well, we definitely will need the tube pass. Not sure about the food just yet, but long as I remember where the heck Middleton was, so we could check out the lost and found at the inn there.
My party is
Shooting value of 35. Let's see, that's 50. Oh, somehow he does not have a ranged weapon at all. Well, we'll go ahead and get him that. Not bad, really. Alright, well. Sanitation is not the strong suit of this tiny inn. A door leads southeast, and this sign provides the current rates. You see an innkeeper here.
Greetings, travelers.
How'd this place get to be such a mess?
Some of my guests were drinking pretty heavily last night. I don't know what they were drinking, but it sure seemed to make them inclined to litter. Now nobody wants to stay here, and I don't know what to do.
The mighty Magnitude advances to Superhero 4th Class. His abilities increase in every area.
Anyway, Glovebox, moving like a whirling dervish, easily refolds every road map in sight. The innkeeper gratefully places the stack of neatly folded maps into his map closet. All members of the party gain 3,600 XP. Removing all those road maps reveals a can of Bud. This is quite a find, an authentic can of Budweiser beer. The brand of beer was banned in 2017 after it was discovered that it suppressed the brain's normal inhibition against littering. The can is closed. And let's take the can. We're not about to start drinking it, though. No siree. Alright, well, our next goal is going back to Newark and our favorite train station. And make our way back to good old Philadelphia. And we're heading into the sewers. Why? Well, so we can get this gum for a start. This gum has been chewed at least once and stepped on at least a zillion times. But there is a train station here we can go down, and behold the Silver Line. Middleton-Harrisburg. This is part of the inner-city maglev transportation system begun during the Gore administration. See, this is why we don't have superheroes and such an awesome future. What might have been, eh? And hey, another highly dangerous area to explore, and this explains why I had no idea where Middleton is, 'cause we haven't been here yet. Still, probably a good idea that we go ahead and save here. And you know we're going to explore every bit of this and fight every fight that we can before we get down to, well, inevitably finding that inn that had some 20 nasties. All pretty weak nasties from the look of it, though. Monsters in the wings. Cruise mistletoe, cruise mistletoe. Unrepeatable bug. Okay, we got some robots coming up, so... Cruise mistletoe has no metal parts to rust. Since cruise missile has no arteries to speak of, no damage results. Can we put them to sleep? Since it never sleeps. Okay, nothing to do but hit those, unfortunately. And yeah, superpower of 10 not going to help in a fight. $29,373 XP. Grand total of swag for that fight, $2 and a single ordinary paperclip. $87 in a mass of bubble wrap. $14 nasties.
Did you know that surveys showed as the great satchel...
And my party has now become really paranoid. little too focused on trying to click through stuff at that point. Queen, any mess? $94. Well, okay, apart from the party leader being paranoid, we're in pretty good shape. But we're going to go ahead and save here, because we are at the half-hour point. But next time, we will continue exploring Middleton-Harrisburg and doing heroic things like that there. So thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment if you are so inclined. And we'll continue the adventure from here next time. Take care until then.